Hey everyone, I'm Chris, and this is Cue the Credits. Welcome back to Cue the Credits, the home of everything boutique Blu-rays, physical media, and the art of collecting. In today's video, we are going to be talking about one of the top level Kung Fu 4K holy grails. And we're not just talking about one of them, we're talking about two of them. Two of the same sets. And by that I mean the same set with two different variants. And you can see here, they have been shipped to me in this massive box. Lovely and protected, but they are big boxes. And the titles in that box are the Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest 4K box sets from our video. Now the reason this is a pretty exciting pickup is for a couple of reasons. Firstly, this got released a couple of years ago when I was in that lull of collecting. We didn't have this area in our house at the moment. We just moved in and there was renovations happening, and I just wasn't really sure where we were going with physical media and how that was going to look going forward. So I totally missed this release, which is really gutting because it is beautiful. So now obviously we've got this bit in the house and we've got space for it. Well, did have space. The shelves are looking pretty full at the moment. And it's been something that I've been looking at but not actively seeking out. And secondly, of course, this is now out of print and getting increasingly hard to track down, one, in a good condition, and two, for a decent price. So if you've ever wondered if these sets are worth hunting down, then stick around. I'm going to unbox both of them, show you the differences, and then fingers crossed you should have the answer whether you need to go on this quest as well. So a little bit of context to how I got my hands on these two very rare titles. I was having a little back and forth with a fellow collector on Facebook. We were shooting the breeze about various things and these Bruce Lee sets came up. Turns out this person had two of them in their collection that they were willing to part with. So immediately I got straight on the phone to my best pal, who is also a massive Asian cinema fan, who I knew was also looking for this set. And I was like, hey man, I know you've just moved and money's tight at the moment, but I've got an opportunity and you can get this set that you've been looking for this amount of money. And he was like, yeah, okay, of course, get it, do the deal. I want that set. And I did just that. Grabbed both of them. They have turned up in what can only be described as an absolute metric load of bubble wrap, as well as a massive box and a load of packing material, which is greatly appreciated. So if you are watching this, thank you for sending these over in such a great condition. So without further ado, I've waffled on for long enough, haven't I? Let's get these opened, let's get them unboxed, and let's see what's inside these boxes. Let's unbox this then. So I'm going to start off with the standard of the limited editions, and what I'll do, we'll do a full deep dive on this, and then I will just show you the alternative artwork versions on the Arrow exclusive, because everything inside the box is all exactly the same. So as you can see, going round, we've got Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest, we've got that on the J card there, and then we've got all of the J card here, which by all means, if you would like to pause it, go ahead. You can see all of the special features. It is an absolutely packed package. We've got Dolby Audio on here. All of the Blu-ray discs are region B, so that is noted. And then around the side again, we've got the same artwork there, and then back onto this one there. Let's take this J card off. So with the J card off here, we've got this wonderful artwork by Tony Stella, and that follows round to the rear, which has got all of this with various different characters from the various different films. There's a little bit of dentage on the top, unfortunately, but with a box that is kind of this old, you kind of expect it, but on the front, it's looking good. Let's crack this open then. So taking the top off, we get these dragon seals here, and you can see here all of the different films right at the top. Glaring omission, of course, is Enter the Dragon, which is distributed by Warner Brothers. And then we've got the book and then some other goodies. And then a little plastic wallet here as well. So let's get into it. First up, we've got the Big Boss. So once again, all of these like digipack paper case type things are how all the films are housed, and then all the artwork is done newly commissioned by Tony Stella on these. So inside we've got original artwork, and then the 4K disc here, and then a nice little Bruce Lee headshot there. And on the back we just get a brief description and then all of the Blu-ray contents, and then some tech specs right at the bottom. I'm going to burn through these discs because they are pretty much all the same. I don't think you need me going, ooh, because it is all the same, bar the different artworks and the different films. That being said, this is the Big Boss, the Mandarin cut, so another lovely artwork there. And on the back, we can see that this is a cut that has never been available on a home video. So here's that there. This is also on 4K, which is really nice. And then a really cool artwork, just mimicking the poster there. Then we have Fist of Fury. So all of this artwork is absolutely gorgeous though. And then the back, if you want to pause it, by all means. And inside, lovely poster art. Another 4K for this. And Fist of Fury. And then Way of the Dragon. Tony Stella's done a wonderful job on this. Look at the Colosseum in the back there. And then all of the information just here. And inside, another original poster. Way of the Dragon there on 4K, and then some key artwork. So all of these discs are all in this design. It does look quite nice. It's minimal, but it doesn't need to be anything crazy. Then we have that glaring omission, so no Tony Stella artwork on this. This is purely just the Warner Brothers poster, and we get the Warner Brothers logo there. It does say courtesy of Warner Home Video here. I'm glad that they've included Enter the Dragon. You kind of have to, but the fact that Warner Brothers wouldn't let them have the 4K is a bit frustrating. Obviously, they had their own plans and have released Enter the Dragon now. The original poster there, obviously the discs don't match, and then there is nothing behind that. So I'm always for when we get collections, studios and distributors working together to get a complete one, you know, like what we saw with the Friday the 13th collection, kind of what we saw with the Child's Play collection in a sense. So it's nice that it's complete. Just would have been cool to have a 4K. Of course, you can now purchase the 4K of Enter the Dragon and just pop it in there if you so desire. Then we have a Game of Death. So we're back to the Tony Stella artwork here, looking gorgeous. Have that there, and then all of the information on the back. Then opening it up here, of course, the iconic yellow. And then again, just get that. So this is the icon that is Bruce Lee, right? Then we get Game of Death alternate versions, so nice Tony Stella there, and then all the information of that alternate versions. This one is only 90 minutes though. Then inside, an alternate poster. Now this is only on Blu-ray for this one, but we do get really rad bit of key art there. And then we get the final Game of Death here. So this is another Blu-ray. Final Game of Death is a brand new 223-minute video essay by Arrow Films. It incorporates a new 2K restoration of all 2 hours of Lee's original diaries from a recently discovered interpositive. So this is really nice. This is more of the historical film piece that we want from physical media. A nice little bit of artwork there. Once again, it is just a Blu-ray on there, and pretty cool bit of black and white. This is why we buy physical media, right? For these type of special features and to be able to hold them right here. Then we have Game of Death 2, Tower of Death. This is probably the most controversial thing to be in this box set. Of course, this was 5 years after the death of Bruce Lee. They found various footage in studio vaults and things like that, and as it's noted here, Bruce exploitation, and it is, yeah, it's interesting. But this is a brand new 2K restoration of this. It's titled Game of Death 2 by Arrow Films. But yeah, that's, have a look there. It's very interesting. I haven't personally watched this, so I'm kind of intrigued, but also, yeah, it feels a bit wrong. And finally, for discs, we have got Bruce Lee, the Man and the Legend, and then Bruce Lee, the Legend. So these are the two Golden Harvest documentaries that they put out, and they are both Blu-ray presentations. So they are 83 and 86 minutes respectively. So, and then we get the two posters there. But both of these docs are on this singular Blu-ray disc. Then we get a 200-page hardback book. Now, this isn't normal for Arrow. Normally, we're getting smaller books and they're going to be paperback. This is very much more a kind of second sight venture, I'd say. But we get Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest on the spine. It's got him sporting the iconic yellow suit, as is on the back. And this, I will just show you the contents page. So this has got film notes, it's got various things on, or various essays on each of the films, early films, Fields of Fury, about the restorations, production credits. It is absolutely stacked in that sense. Enter the Dragon, all of the cast, the original release dates, load of production photos, behind the scenes, and then some essays on his early films and more behind the scenes there. Just a wonderful hardback book. Then what is a limited edition without a poster? Let's just get this opened up. So we have the Way of the Dragon poster here, and then the Big Boss poster here. So these are both landscape posters, which is kind of nice. We don't see landscape posters anymore. And this Big Boss one in like the full red is, yeah, the film that made Bruce Lee, the film that makes the action. Look, this is just a rad poster, isn't it? Then you get a box inside the box. And I was like, why have we got a box inside the box? It's got this really cool key artwork here. And Bruce Lee is dynamite on the back. Let's take a look. Inside, we get 24 lobby cards. Now, this isn't a thing that you really get. We get art cards, but you don't really get the lobby cards that used to sit in cinemas. So I'm just going to quickly go through all of these, and they are mainly like behind the scenes or shots from the film and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of a different way. And then on the back of all of them for the specific film, you get a really nice poster. So effectively, if you were like, oh, I want to just have nice art cards of the posters, you can have them with this. So we've got the Fist of Fury ones. Just look at that action shot. Oh, yes. Oh my God, I'm so hyped to rewatch all of these. And then the Fist of Fury poster. Now for Way of the Dragon. Just, yeah, so young. And then the poster for Way of the Dragon. And then, of course, Game of Death. Just iconic, isn't it? Absolutely iconic. Of course, if you're watching this and going, oh wow, and have never seen any Bruce Lee films, but think that that yellow suit is very familiar, Of course, Quentin Tarantino paid homage to it in Kill Bill with the bride's yellow outfit. So that is where. So these are 24 lobby cards. And then finally in the set, we get 10 glossy photos of Lee in action. So these effectively just feel like old photo. I say old photos, like what you would get from a print camera. They are wonderful, wonderful quality. So just a nice little addition here. Just so cool. And these are all glossy as anything. So there we go. So that is everything that you get in the standard limited edition of Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest. So take one last look at the box here. Let's have a look at that alternative artwork that we get in the Arrow exclusive, shall we? So onto the Arrow exclusive here, and I know I'll point out the elephant in the room, a little bit of damage on the top corner. This is obviously incorporating the iconic Game of Death yellow jumpsuit outfit, as well as more of the Golden Harvest logos there. And onto the side, this is just yellow on here, and then on the back it is just yellow and black. So still get the same amount of bits and bobs, all the same features, though all of this information is newly commissioned by Tom Ralston. We get Tony Stella on the standard, and then Tom Ralston in this limited edition one. Let's open it up. So firstly, all of this supplementary material, all of the lobby cards, the pictures, the poster, the book, that is all exactly the same. No differences in artwork there or anything like that. It is only when we get to the covers of the actual discs that it is different. So it's all sporting that new artwork by Tom Ralston, and then spines are all the same there, as is the back, as well as the inside. Everything is exactly the same, bar that front cover on these. So I'll burn through them. So we've got the Big Boss, the Mandarin cut here. We've got Fist of Fury. We've got Way of the Dragon. Enter the Dragon is exactly the same. Then we have Game of Death. The Game of Death alternate versions. The final Game of Death. Game of Death 2, Tower of Death. And then finally, Bruce Lee, the Man and the Legend, and Bruce Lee, the Legend, the documentaries. And that is everything that you get in the Arrow alternative version. So tell me, which version would you rather pick up? The standard edition or the Arrow exclusive? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's go back to the studio. I mean, they're both pretty rad looking boxes, right? It is nuts to me that I'm standing here with both of these editions. I'm very, very blessed to be able to show you these. So why does this set matter in comparison to, you know, everything that you could get that is Bruce Lee before? This release is basically a love letter to Bruce Lee's era working with Golden Harvest, which is arguably the most important period of his film career. These are the films that turned him into a global icon. Not just martial arts cinema royalty, but a genuine worldwide movie star. And Arrow treated this like an event rather than just like a normal catalogue drop, which is why I'm sure these sets sold out so quickly and why they are so sought after to collectors. Of course, you can get the single releases that Arrow put out, but to have everything in one beautiful box, that's the money. Now, normally I would talk about the picture quality and the audio quality and how the presentation is on the discs, but this just came in. I wanted to get it unboxed. I wanted to show you lovely people these two sets. So I haven't been able to check out enough of the discs to give you a definitive review. The little bits that I have checked out look absolutely incredible, and I'm really, really excited to dive into the box One notable omission is, of course, Enter the Dragon being solely on Blu-ray. Of course, you saw that in the unboxing and you saw the little Warner Brothers logo. This actually happened to Arrow before in the Chucky collection that I've got here. Though this is an MGM-led decision rather than Warner Brothers, Child's Play, the first film, is only available on Blu-ray in this because they had the distribution rights for the 4K. It is a little bit annoying, especially when you're buying a 4K set, that one of the main films, if not arguably Child's Play and Enter the Dragon, two of the main films that you'd probably want in 4K aren't in 4K, but hey, we got to move with it. If you would like more of a deep dive on the actual content of the discs, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm more than happy to be watching and reviewing all the films and the special features for you. So, am I happy with these pickups? You know I am. Of course, barring the little bit of damage that we've got on the corners of both of the boxes, it's bound to happen with these being like 3 years old. I'm just glad they're not in absolutely mashed up shape, because I've seen some of the ones where people bought them at retail and they just came absolutely trashed. So a little bit of denting, we can deal with it, try and work it out. So the question is, should you try and hunt for these sets? I would probably say yes. On face value, if you are a Kung Fu fan, I would say absolutely. If you are just a bit of a Kung Fu fan and a Bruce Lee fan, Arrow have released all of these, bar Enter the Dragon, standalone. So you can pretty much get everything that's in the box. Of course, you don't get these lovely boxes, but it is safe to say it is always lovely having something of such desirability and an out of print title in the collection, especially when you only paid just about retail cost for it. So let me know down in the comments below. Have you already got your hands on this Arrow Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest set? Is it something you're wanting to pick up, or is Kung Fu not really your thing? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Cue the Credits. I appreciate you taking some time to talk movies with me. As always, do all the YouTube bits, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop me a comment below, share it with your friends, all of that jazz. As always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace!